Devam Kangsha Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagad Gurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I salute the Lord Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, and the delight of the mother and destroyer of the demons of like Kamsa and Chanura, and the Lord of the universe and the Guru of the universe. Our salutations to him. Om. Peace, peace, peace. So, we were reading this Narada's way of love, and in that we have come to this point that different sages describe bhakti as differently. So, some of the sages we have read that some say bhakti according to the nana and different sages according to the different temperaments, they define the bhakti, the sign of the bhakti differently. The sage Vyasa, that's the Parasar's son, Vyasa, and he says that one is getting interest in worship, in the glory, in the listening to the glories of the Lord. These are the signs of bhakti. Gargar Rishi says that they are only focused. Day and night they want to hear the pastimes of the Krishna, how Krishna lived in the childhood. Even some summer stories like how the early days of Ramakrishna, this type of thought, if one mind leans towards listening to the glories and the life and the playful stages of the Lord incarnated, that is called bhakti. Atmaruti avirodhena. Shandilya also says that your love for your own self will be uninterrupted flow of that attachment for the self, that is, self does not mean this little self or body and mind, but Lord in the real self. Our real self is Krishna, our real self is Rama, our real self is avatars, we say, who are in turn is the Satchidananda. But we have lastly, 19th verse, we read, but the opinion, what the sage Narada, who is the writer of this book, whose aphorisms we are reading, what he thinks about that bhakti. And that bhakti, we have read, it has been said that it is Naradastu, but what Narada says, that is tadarpito akhilo acharata tad vishmarane parama vyakulata iti. Tad arpito akhilo acharata. All the akhilo achara, all the behavior, all the pastime, all activity, everything is sleeping, eating, playing, talking, behaving, all they are centered around Tat Arpita, on God, on Sri Ramakrishna or Sri Krishna. And and one-pointed mind flows for that, Akhilo, and Tad Vishmarane, perchance they forget God for a moment. Then he will be Parama Vyakulata. Will be tremendous pain or anxiety or the separation, feeling of separation. It will be lost as if I have lost God, my heart and soul. So that was Narada's definition, number 19. So I thought that I have read that, but it seems anyhow, that Narada's opinion, what this book says, that Narada gives this as a sign of bhakti. What is that? When all thoughts, all words, and all deeds are given up to the Lord, and when the least forgetfulness of God makes one intensely miserable, then love has begun. That is the definition of bhakti according to Narada sage. It's a very intense chapter, this definition. That means we become anxious, we become very much one-pointed for anything material, mundane, worldly. But this bhakta is so much focused in God, one-pointed in God, that is every action, thought, every all goes around God, 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 God. Huh? And if perchance something makes him forget God, then he will be feeling like a tremendous pain, a forgetfulness, intensely miserable. And the love, then you will understand the love for God has begun. That means it has started. You are growing in devotion means this is it growing like that? That you are feeling fascinated for God more and more and more. And by chance you forget God for some moment. Does your heart feel the separation of God is painful? It is bringing you some feeling of as if away from God for a long time. That means this is becoming unbearable to you gradually, gradually, gradually. Then you know that your love is growing. So, you have read this, yes, I have read. So it says that we have referred Ramakrishna's life is a glaring example of the modern age. How he lived that life. If we read his life, we find that he was feeling that type of pain and separation. Now, we have read that Swami Vivekananda says that seek not God, but see Him. God is omnipresent. The moment you think of God, convince yourself that you are actually in His presence. You are always in contact with God, only you are not recognizing that. So feel that presence. And then long for Him and pray to Him that He may reveal Himself to you. And then on the page 460 we have read that Swami Shivananda, a disciple of Ramakrishna, used to tell Swami Prabhupada and others, what? Pray earnestly, day and night, with anguish in your heart, that you may have devotion to Him. So that is the highest thing, that all your knowledge, etc., is good, but it should lead to this connection with God, love for God, intense love. And in the psalm, it is said that even evening and morning and at noon, I will pray and cry aloud, and He shall hear my voice. In the Gospel according to St. Luke, it is said, and He spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray. St. Paul said, pray without ceasing, pray unceasingly. In the morning we pray, what is that? St. Francis of Assisi, no? What we pray? Similar type of prayer. So, that means through this prayer you surrender yourself. And Bhagavad Gita he quoted, that Bhagavad Gita said, give me your love, your whole heart, love me, adore me, worship me, always bow to me only, and you shall find me. This is my promise, who love you dearly. I love you all, Krishna says, oh Arjuna, I love you all. So I tell you, how to get to reach me day and night. So give me your whole heart. Our heart is sold to so many things. To some clothing, to some ornament, to some money, to some friends, to something of the visible universe attracting to my eyes. No? No. You give all your heart and soul. That means let whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you taste, whatever you touch, let it be God, 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 God. And you adore me. We adore many people. We thank many people. And look at that from morning. Someone has given me a glass of water. I say, thank you. So how many times, just tell me, let us remember from morning now, how many times I say, oh, thank God. Thank God I get this food. Thank God I got this water. Thank God I got this meal. Thank God for this smile. Thank God. Do we did thank from morning till now, night? How many times? I do not know. Probably somebody does not do at all. Though we are spiritual people. We never thank God. But as a culture, no? Our mom teaches in the childhood, no? You should thank. Say, what is that? Someone gave you something. Mom teaches us, no? Say, what is this? Tell, baby, thank you. No? So mom and dad is teaching us to thank everyone. But the thanks should go, every thank goes to go to God only. But we never remember that. Rather we thank those people who are dependent on God only. If God is there, that's why they are doing any justice, any kindness, any affection or any dealing with you, or sometimes bad or good, whatever they do. So, love and adore me. Worship me always. We worship people. I praise, you are so great, you are so nice, you are so wonderful, you are so... God say, oh Lord, you are so great, see? You are everywhere, shining yourself, manifesting yourself. I am a fool, I don't see that. Please, be kind to me, give this inner vision. No? So this is the point. Bow down to me only, and you shall find me. This is my promise. I promise you that you will have this. Lay down all your duties. We are very dutiful. We do this duty, that duty, that duty. Duty. But do you think it is only duty to serve God? All through this, all duties I am serving God only. So lay down all your duties. In me you take refuge, for I shall save you from the sin and from bondage. No? So self-surrender also means that the least forgetfulness of God makes one miserable. This type of what bhakti means, that is your surrender to God then. And that surrender to God will be making you what? If you surrender, then you will be able to feel that separation, this misery, that I am not disconnected from me. I am disconnected. The disconnection itself is a misery. We do not know what is that type of love. Mothers sometimes feel for the children. And one, what is called a romantic love, people may feel little bit of touch of that. A little touch of that. They become mad. If anyone enters into their jurisdiction of their romantic love, no? Someone comes, you are talking, two friends are talking intimately, someone enters there, so angry toward the person. It becomes spontaneous. No one teaches them. See the definition of bhakti. We all know bhakti. When it comes to the mundane level, that we understand. But for God, who is feeling like that? If you feel you are a bhakta, you are developing according to Narada, your mind is getting ready for that. There is a prayer of Chaitanya, that's why we chant every time. How long How I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Govinda, will be 1,000 years, when my heart burns away in its desire and the world without thee is a heartless void. We have read this. This is the end of 19. So we should start today 20. Hmm? At the end, to note down 20, verse number 20. Eh? We did the preamble. Now,
regarding this verse, one person asked a question.
আচ্ছা এখনই না কি বলবো?
Regarding this verse only. The Thakur said in Kali Yuga Naradiya Bhakti. Was he referring to this definition of Narada?
Yeah. Yes, this is the highest definition of Narada's bhakti. Only your mind, tad arpito akhilo acharata, all your behaviors, all your actions will be centered around God. And tad bismarane, when you forget, you will be restless, you will be miserable. We say that, oh, he's miserable. That miserable condition will come only because of the separation of God. Entire book is Narada's Bhakti, so you can make a point that this is the central idea, but that is developed all over the book. So what is the definition of Narada as spoken by Sri Ramakrishna? Is this definition, maybe. And Ramakrishna himself is the example of that devotion. Now the question comes, you are saying this, it's a good idea, that all your mental thought will flow for God and nothing else and nothing else. Is it possible? Does it happen to anybody? That's why it says example. Is there any example? Examples of this type of Narada's love. Is it available? Do we see? You are saying that all the moment you will think of God, in one split second you are off from God, then you will be feeling restlessness. Does it happen? Because we don't feel any time, no? We are 30, 40, 50 years thinking of God. When I feel, hey, someone is talking about other mundane thing, and my heart will be, hey, my God, let me run away. Not physically, but mentally. What happened? We are boasting about our devotion. We are devotees for 10 years. I'm meditating for 50 years. But what? Do you feel anything? So that is the definition. So we want to see examples like that. Where can we find any example? So Narada is saying in the old time, no? So he gives his example before his lifetime. So he says, Osti evam. Yes, there are examples. Osti means yes, there is examples of evam. In this type of definition, you can find there are examples. So, examples exist of such perfect expression of love. Yes, it is available. So, next verse will be connected with it, 21. They will talk about gopis. The love of the gopis for Krishna will be 21 verse. But here 20, let us read the verse number 20 first. So it is said, Narada on page 61, verse number 20. Osti evam. Yes, Narada says, yes, osti means there is, evam, such type of devotion. What I am defining, you can find that example. What is that? Narada, as he describes the nature of true love, declares in no uncertain terms that love for God in each one completely surrounds oneself to him is not a mere theoretical idea. It may think that is a good idea to love God in this way, but it's a theoretical idea to us. It's a theoretical, it's in the books. It sounds well. When you listen, it seems very good. But is there any example? Have you seen? Can you cite an example? Historically, anybody can see. So Narada describes the nature of true love and declares in no uncertain terms that love for God, in which one completely surrenders oneself to Him, is not a mere theoretical ideal. It is not a theoretical talk. Such exemplary men and women of God do exist. Narada, in the next verse, cites the examples of the gopis. We'll see on the verse number 21. The shepherdess of Vrindavan and their love for Krishna. That's why India is surviving for thousands of years. The love of Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. You go to Vrindavan, Radhe, 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 Radhe. Krishna, Krishna. Their love is surpassing love. Krishna's love, or Radha's love for Krishna, Krishna's love for Radha, Bhakta and Bhagavan. God's love for individual and individual's love for God, Jivatma, Paramatma. It is called the Radha, the Jivatma, is symbolizing the Jivatma, individual soul. Krishna, the Paramatma, the Supreme Lord. Their attraction is Ramakrishna's example. He's a magnet. Krishna. That's why the definition of Krishna is Krishdhatu, Karshati iti. Magnet, what it does? Magnet attracts the iron particles. We are reading that who got the Nobel Prize in Physics today?
Roger Penrose.
Roger Penrose got today's news. Yes, he got it. The Nobel Prize in Physics. And what is the speciality? They are talking about that there is a black hole, and black hole is an attractive force in such a power, even the light which is moving in such high speed and light particle, they're all attracted. That's why you can see some light at the face of it. And all the stellar system, all the, stars and galaxies and all these are all pulled into the gravitational force, as you know Einstein and others talked about. So here, Krishna is that big magnet. Everyone is being pulled. But why you don't feel the pull? He's asking me also. Attracting, natural. Jivatman, Paramatman, that attraction is common, very natural. Why we are not feeling? Ramakrishna gave. That if the needle is covered with dust and dirt, clay, the attraction is not felt. But the attraction is there. So Krishna is the person who attracts, who pulls the whole universe. That's why it is a Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna, Krishna means he who pulls everyone towards him. Ramakrishna in Bengali it's called Ram Badmas. He's a man, attraction to the extreme. If you say he's a bad guy, he's a bad guy. No, he's the most bad guy. There is no more. The Ram means extreme. Ram Krishna. So this Krishna attracts more powerfully. He sucks everyone like that. So it is called Ram Krishna. Another way. So, but we don't feel. Some feel. As it is said that God is calling, come, come. Ramakrishna, he cried on the roof of Dakshineshwar, no? And said, oh, my child who are here, come, come, come. I cannot wait without you, no? And he's crying. Who? For whom? For the pure children who will come. Because he's saying, I'm talking to the people, but they have no metal in it. It is like, suppose someone putting some in the burning fire, if you put some firewood, which is not dry, so what happens? As soon as you put into the fire, it not only it does not burn, but it becomes smoke, and it brings out more water, sap out of it, and it tries to kill the fire itself. No. That's why he says, I am getting tired of them. Ramakrishna is giving the message, he is touching people, he is doing all these things. But he is crying, come, 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 some pure soul who are there, who can understand me. No? So Krishna is also crying, come, come, come. Only few gopis came. Come, come, come. Came Ramakrishna's disciples, householder disciples and monastic disciples. Calcutta people used to rush to see Ramakrishna. Like if anyone goes to watch what is called the animals in the zoo. I used to say, they have come to see some zoo. That means they have no attraction for God. They say, oh, there is a Paramahansa. Newspaper says, Ramakrishna Paramahansa. So let us go to see Ramakrishna Paramahansa. What to see? And seeing, sitting before Ramakrishna, he is talking about God and then pushing, hey, how long? How long day? It is too much. Let's go. This holy words does not suit their ears. What the question of attraction? But few can feel the attraction. Swami Vivekananda was feeling the attraction. Ramakrishna is pulling as it were. One pair of shoes, one shoe goes where he does not know. He's running like a mad guy. And running in such a way, haystack. There is a haystack and in his body there is hay here and there. He didn't care about it till he reaches Dakshineshwar. Gaurima. She felt that as if someone is pulling her by this cord or rope to somewhere. She does not know. And when Balram Bose, her brother, distant brother, brought her to Dakshineshwar, he saw that Ramakrishna was trying just what is called winding in the pool, he was winding a rope, a thread. And then as she entered there, and Ramakrishna said, left it. The turning is over. Pulling, last pull, and it's over. And that lady, who was like a mad, behaving like a mad person, came, and then gradually Balram Bose came and saluted Ramakrishna. And then she was standing, and then she followed and did pranam. And he saw 2 feet of Ramakrishna. The night before, that night in the evening, in his mystic vision, he went to see their Govinda, when Krishna's temple is there in their home. And while he was saluting, he saw the feet of Lord Krishna in a mystic vision. And now, after coming from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar with brother Balaram, and just he tried to bow down his head and to pranam, he saw the same 2 feet, what he saw last night, and it is the same 2 feet. That she was overwhelmed. That is the Krishna. That is the Krishna, Rama Krishna, pulling in a like this. Someone pulls. The description is beautiful. She was feeling that the chariot is, or the horse-driven carriage. The carriage is not moving by the power of the horses, as if someone is pulling in the heart of Gaurima, and that is taking her run. She is sitting in the car though, but feeling the pull, someone is pulling. So this is called the pull. That will be felt. So is there? These are the examples. Asti evam. Yes, it is possible. Khepar moto keble pare. I forgot the line. Say, Pabina shama maere khepar moto na khepele. Shehan pagol বচকি বগল কাজ হবে না ওর উপলে পাবি না শ্যামা মায়েরে খ্যাপার মতো না খেপিলে. You don't become mad, real mad, you will not get Mother Kali. Sian Pagal, Buchki Bagal. You will keep your worldly minded into accounting and hisab and keep something in the armpit, hiding something. Kajabe na yorupole. That will not make you feel that attraction for Ma or the vision of Mother. Pavina Shama Maere. You will not get Sama Maere. You will not get Mother Sama. Kapar moto nakepile. To be mad like a mad guy. That means intoxicated in God. So these examples still exist. Osti, evam. Yes, there are such examples of this type of tremendous love, tremendous attraction felt. And so Narada in the next verse cites the examples of the gopis, the shepherdesses of Vrindavan, and their love for Krishna. One may say that this example is prehistoric, but many historical examples can also be found even in the followers of all religions. And they also exist today. Even today there are some exceptional people. We do not know them, we do not see them, but there are people. They don't come into the marketplace to say that I am a devotee. They live in their own realm of love. In my own life, means Swami Prabhupada saying, within my limited circle, I have witnessed such examples in the lives of a number of disciples of Ramakrishna. That means he made the Ramakrishna's spiritual sons, no? All the disciples, most of the disciples he saw, Prabhupada Swami. So in their life, he says, I saw that type of intoxication, God-intoxicated mood. You will find that Sri Ramakrishna's, all the disciples, Mahapurush Maharaj, we have read the, what is called the divine key, what is the name of the book? In the divine realm, that book. My God, Mahapurush Maharaj, Shivananda, whenever he is talking, he is totally absorbed in another world as it were. So this example, Swami Prabhupada says that we have seen such examples. We have experienced that example, immersed in the bliss of the divine love, and taught us to pray only to attain pure love. Don't ask anything from God. That was their message. Ask for love, ask for divine love, ecstatic love. No material gain. Let this happen, let that happen, let that happen. These are temporary. Even by praying it will happen. But what is the gain in having that type of achievements? Because I was in need of something and God sanctions that. Okay, I am happy today. But tomorrow another problem will come. And then I'll have to ask another thing. Rather, true bhakta will say, I want you. And no other thing. That's why the Kunti, Mother Kunti, was the greatest example. Because Mother Kunti says, you want to give me more suffering? That's okay. I don't care for that. But I want that I shall not be separated from you for a split second. Do that. Take me, let me go to the hell. Even you are with me. That's okay. Hell is better rather than heaven, where I forget you. But this is total opposite idea. People think that happy if I go to heaven. Whether God is there or not, I don't care about that. But the opposite thing is that is heaven is hell for a devotee. Where you cannot talk about God, you cannot think about God, you cannot have that deep intoxication in God. Sri Ramakrishna used to say to his disciples, when true yearning for God comes, then follows the sight of Him. Then rises the sun of knowledge in the heart. Yearn for Him and love Him intensely. That is Ramakrishna's advice. No? Yearning. As Ramakrishna used to say, people cry, shed tears, jug full of tears for material loss, material wealth, money, prestige, name, health. People, we are ordinary people, we cry. But who cries for God? That's a question. That is Sri Ramakrishna saying, yearn for God. That so it is matching. There are examples, and these are the people who live like that. And Sri Ramakrishna saying the same language. The mother loves her child, the chaste wife loves her husband, the miser loves his wealth. Let your love for God be as intense as these three loves combined. A very good calculation, what you guess, mathematical calculation he has given. A plus B plus C is equal to love. What is love? Is a definition of love is here. That means mother loves the child. Only mothers know how much is that love, intense love. When someone becomes a monk or nun, some people say, I have renounced. Some sadhu said, what you have renounced? What do you know of renunciation? You don't know what is called love. Renunciation is your mom. Mom knows what is the son or child. How much deep emotional connection is there. It is their sacrifice. You have not developed your love. You don't love a girl. You don't love many material boy. So what is your love? You don't know that intensity, how difficult if someone is in love, material plane, a boy loving girl, girl loving, to separate out is easy thing. You don't know that love. And mother's love, heart and soul they give. So that love. Plus, that is not enough. Miser loves the wealth. If one penny is a big thing for that person, you can chop his flesh for 1 pound, he will not mind. But if someone to give 10 rupees or $10 out of his pocket is a hue and cry. No, the big talk, big things. So that means that is a sign of love for wealth, love for money. And the third one, the second one.
Work so hard to get that money.
Yeah. Even if you see that when someone does some charity and other places, they will go. They don't need it. They have money. As Jairambati, that story, Holy Mother used to say. That now one of our monks says, Ma, we have started this charitable homeopathic dispensary, and it is meant for the poor people who cannot afford to do anything and get them benefit. But all the affordable people, they have their money and they come over here. And the poor people don't get the benefit. So Holy Mother said, my child, you do your job. Whoever comes, you know he is a beggar. Not monetarily, but mentally. So that's why he wants to save maybe 4 annas of fees for the dog. In those days, that will be enough. 1 quarter penny, 25 cents medical fees he wants to save. So that attraction, that is the attraction. People can walk long distance to get, in this country, gold rush. What happened? How many people lost their life? Why gold rush? Gold is gold. Why are you rushing for that? And you are giving up your life. It is so cold and you cannot, there are sharks and all these things. But people go on for gold rush. That is, love for money and wealth is so deep and profound, no? You can think of that intensity. Take that intensity. One day, Ramakrishna was talking about love for God, and he was quoting the examples of Radha and Krishna. No? And young boy, he was very idealistic. He said, I don't like this, that emotional, this love story. He said, nonsense. Love for Radha, Krishna, this, that. Then Ramakrishna said, okay, you need not have to take that part. But you take this part and imbibe in your life the attraction they felt. As Radha used to feel for Krishna. Or Krishna is showing his love for Radha. That attraction, understand that intensity of love. Take it in your life for God. You need not have to take the other part stories, male, female, attraction, hugging, kissing, all this business. Forget that. But that's because of the attraction. So there are 3 examples. So divine love, mother for the child, and a chaste wife loves the husband. And third one, the miser loves the wealth. Let your love for God be as intense as these three loves combined. Baba. There will be no more any space for anything else. Then, combined. Then shall you see him, this gospel. Now he told his disciples how he himself prayed for devotion during a period of intense spiritual discipline. What he said? Quote, Ramakrishna said, "O mother, here is thy sin, here is the virtue. Take them both and grant me pure love for thee. Here is knowledge and here is ignorance. I lay them at your feet. Grant me pure love for thee. Here is the purity and here is the impurity. Take them both and grant me pure love for thee. Here are good works and here are evil works. I lay them at thy feet. Grant me pure love for thee." That is the gospel of Ramakrishna. Narada, that is the explanation. So the other book, I will read what they have said, simple. Among such examples in historical times, it is a prehistoric time. People will say Radha, Krishna, whether they were there. It is a mythical story. It is, scholars don't accept that Krishna will be so far behind 5,000 years, 7,000 years. These are all the same. It falls in the mythical story. Myth means some story. It has no reality. But here, this book, Swami Tapasyana, it is Tyagishananda. Tyagishananda Swami says, 20, he says, among such examples in historical times, the names of Namallar, they are South Indian saints, Tamil saints. In their life we can find this example. And Sri Chaitanya, his life indicates this intense love for God. Then in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, they may be mentioned examples in the modern time. Ramakrishna used to rub his face on the ground, on the sand bed. So much pain, so much intense separation. He cannot bear it. Ma, give your vision. I cannot survive any moment like that. It becomes so very hysterical. But it is such expression of love. So these are examples. Narada gives the preeminent examples in this sutra. Now 21 verse. Jatha Brajagopikanam. These examples are found. Jatha, as you find in the Braja Gopinam, the gopis of the Braja. As the gopis of the Braja had it. That means these are examples available. Look at the Braja, the gopis' life in Vrindavan. So what does it explain? As we have explained, their Braja gopis, they left there, they all, which ordinary woman cannot give up. In this early days, in gopis' time, they are all married very early age. In early days in Sydney, they were married maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. They have no understanding about marriage or anything, but they are married. Even in early days, they get some child also. So the Braja gopis have their husband. They have their family, they have mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law. They live in a family. But their heart is in Krishna. And Ramakrishna said, these gopis are not ordinary women. They were sages in the last birth. They are so absorbed in Vedantic meditation. And at the end of their life, they prayed to God, Sri Krishna, when that Rama, he saw Rama came, and seeing Rama, they said, we feel so much joy in us, so we want to feel it more. So, please have some arrangement for that. But this body is old. Their sages have become old. So, to come again. And that is the again when they came. These gopis were those sages who meditated God on the absolute aspect, non-dual aspect. And now, see, Advaitadapi Sundaram. Hmm. Love for God, this type of love. Our love is two types of love, no? We have already discussed. One is called beginner's love. Another is the matured love. We are in the beginner stage love. But these are the examples of real love, genuine love. So there we find that their love so intense. Say they run, when they listen to the flute of Krishna, there's a night time. It is unbelievable. When we are born in Indian context, in our childhood days, girls don't come out even in daytime in public. But the question of other time. And Krishna is playing a flute at the end of a beautiful forest, no? And these people are all at their home, but their ear is all tuned to Krishna. When the call came, forgot were all our duties. Some gopi, they were feeding their child, baby. Forgot baby is nothing. Krishna, God is more. Then someone is feeding their old father-in-law or mother-in-law. They, as it is, they left. They forgot. As if someone called, they ran, giving up all these things. Not think, Harry, I am a housewife. What will happen to me? I am running like a mad guy, and then where shall I go? If I come back, they will not allow me to enter into the room. I will be in the street. They don't think about their future, protection, what will happen to them. Intense madness for this whistle, this play, the music of the Krishna. So everyone, whatever they are doing, their duties, someone cooking, it was in the oven, something boiling, forgot that and ran away. See, and then ran, and met, and all are running. All the girls are running independently. They do not know why they are running, which direction they are all going. Someone is saying, hey, where are you going? No one responds to that. All are running. And they met in that forest. And Krishna is playing a flute. And seeing that, what they did. Then Krishna said, hey, you ladies, why are you here? These odd hours in the night. It is night time. And the Bhagavat gives a good description in original Sanskrit. He said, Bah, Krishna, you are very clever. You played the flute and you pulled our heart, and now you are putting a question, why are you come? You have your husband, go back, and what is this? Then he said, no. You have your husband, your household duties, that's much better. Go back. I said, wow. No, we are not going, don't you think? You are the real husband, those are fake husbands. Because they are the reflection of Paramatma now. If you see God in everyone even, then it is a reflection. So they say, you are our real husband. And then again Krishna persuaded them to go back. But then one of the gopis, chief of the gopis says, there is this statement, Nakalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan. I know, sir, it's a respectable. Bhavan means in apni. Not tui, not to me. See, they have their language, perfect language. Nakalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan. I don't think that you are son of the cowherd king. No. Nakalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan Akilo Akhilatmanam, I forget, Akhilo Dehinam Antaratmadrik. You are all the embodied being. Dehinam, those who have the body. Those who have body. You are the Antaratma, innermost reality. He is the witness consciousness. Baba, witness consciousness of all the created being. You are that Krishna. My God, what A sage can only say that. Vedantic understanding it is highest. You are the witness. We are reading in Vedanta all this study, no? Witness consciousness. Sakshi, Cheta, Kevala, Nirgunascha in Upanishads. No? That you are Krishna. Don't befool us. We know that you are the witness consciousness of all this visible universe. So, see, that is the way their love, and that love is so intense that is uncomparable. Nothing can stop them. No fear from society's pressure, society's fear, family pressure, and their future, what will happen, uncertainty of their future life, what will happen to the child, baby, what will happen to the ailing mother-in-law, father-in-law serving, what will happen to if the fire will start in the home because I am not taking care, there is cooking and left like that. They have no thought about that. Such madness comes. So that madness they are talking about, it is available, and there are examples, the gopis are the examples. So, so love, this explanation of 21 in this page 62, this refers to the episodes of Krishna and his divine play with the gopis, the shepherdess of Vrindavan, Braja. Love is intrinsically divine, as already stated, and finds its fulfillment when it is turned towards God. Love is in everyone's heart. And you see, in the birds, in the ants, in the plants, no? Even there is some love for any bird giving birth to a child. See how much love the mother bird has for the even the father. He also helps at that time to feed the baby, no? So he sits on that, and she goes to bring out some food. No? So, how much love is there? In every, even inanimate, so-called not human, but in subhuman level, no? Animal level. Even tigers, tigress, no? All types of animals. When the child comes, and mom, dad, their affection for the child is incomparable. So that love is very intrinsic, and that is very divine. Love is divine, but our selfishness enters into it and it destroys that love. So when it's turned towards God, then that love becomes pure love. This divine love again is expressed in many forms, as we shall find explained in one of the later aphorisms. In the Bhagavat, Srimad Bhagavatam, we find that Sri Krishna, the God of love, was loved by Yashoda as her baby, mother, motherly affection. To the shepherd boys, Krishna was their beloved friend and playmate. And to the shepherd girls of Krishna, Krishna was a lover and companion. So same Krishna, love, mother's love, beloved friend, and he has some friends who used to take the cows for grazing. He used to go with them. Those boys also loved him, no? Nowadays the people will say, oh, they are all sexual. Huh? Because boys going with the boys. But no, it is a spiritual love. So pure. And that small boy is pure, innocent. They fall in love with Krishna. Like Swami Vivekananda was that. Everyone was attracted looking at him. People used to, oh, he's beautiful. His eyes are so beautiful. His eyebrow is like that. His forehead is like that. So whole America is to run after all, particularly the women. And people will say, oh, he is attracting. Is he any sexual attraction there? It's all pure love. That is the example of pure love. Purity attracts. People don't understand that. And that purity, as much manifested, they will be surrounded by people like that who have genuine some urge in them. So these are the three types of love. This Krishna, God of love, was loved by Yashoda, mother, as her baby. That's one type. To the shepherd boys of Krishna, his friend, as beloved friend. and the playmate, friend and playmate, and to the shepherd girls, Krishna was lover and companion. When Sri Krishna played on his flute, the shepherdesses were drawn to him like moth to the light. Swami Vivekananda in this country was a moth. Other girls used to run after moth, like moth, to the light because of his extraordinary purity, divine pure power. They would become forgetful of everything, unconscious even of their own bodies. They ran to him, drawn by his love, magnet, powerful magnet. In the same scripture we read, blessed are the shepherdesses of Vrindavan, Bhagavat. Bhagavat says, blessed are the shepherdesses of Vrindavan. They are constantly remembering the Lord, for their hearts are forever united with God. Even while they are milking, churning, washing, and doing household tasks, they are doing all household tasks, but mind is rotating around Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. They sing the praises of the Lord Hari with a devoted and loving heart. Ramakrishna gave the example of as a woman having some other paramour, the thinking of the paramour, no? They are doing all the chore works, but their mind is in the not the whom she loves, no? So similarly, that is called parakiya, that type of love. Sri Ramakrishna often went into samadhi when he had heard the gopis mentioned and thought of their intense love of Krishna. Sri Ramakrishna often went to samadhi, only hearing about gopi, this word, the Krishna, and their intense love for Krishna. Sri Ramakrishna said about the gopis, what he said, quote, page 63, as the tiger devours other animals, so does the tiger of intense love and zeal for the Lord eat up lust, anger, and other passions. The devotion of the gopis is the devotion of love, constant, unmixed, and unflinching. That is Ramakrishna's assessment about the gopis. That means there is nothing but God in their heart, nothing but Krishna in their heart. Krishna, who gives delight to all and who is blissful in his own being, divided himself into many Krishnas. That is when I told the story and all the gopis went. And then going there, what happened? They started then playing. And everyone is dancing. And everyone dancing, and everyone find to his surprise, her surprise, that Krishna is only dancing with her. So many devotees around, everyone feeling Krishna is with her only. That's why it is called spiritual love. You meditate and you feel God is in you. You had 100 people if they sit, and if everyone's devotion reaches that point, everyone feel that Lord is with me only. It's not material love. Material love cannot be. Oh, he is with her, and he is with this girl, and that's with that girl, not with me. Jealousy. All this anguish will come. That is the material love. And spiritual love, when it raises, other things, not necessary. He is with me fully, totally. I feel it here because of the purity of the heart. So this understanding is that we have to deeply meditate into this love. It's so pure, so in the level of highest level. Each felt herself the most blessed. Each one's love for Krishna was so absorbing that she felt herself one with Krishna. And nay, knew herself to be Krishna. Even thinking of Krishna, 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 they become Krishna. That is why in our meditation we say, meditate like this. Think that God is not facing you like that. When you meditate, it is easy that, oh, Ramakrishna is sitting, I am seeing him. No. They say, try to think that he is sitting in your heart like this. So that when the absorption will come, then you will feel that you are no more, you are gone. It is all Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna's hand, Ramakrishna's body, Ramakrishna's nose, eyes, everything is Ramakrishna. Total, then gopis used to feel like that. It is all Krishna, Krishna. Swami Vivekananda wrote, Gopi Lila, the divine play of the gopis, is the acme of religion of love, in which individuality vanishes and there is communion. Individuality should vanish. I love you, I will remain, and love, imperfect love. When I will die, then only that love will be pure love. It is this Leela that Sri Krishna shows what he teaches. Give up everything for me. Go and take shelter under Vrindavan Leela to understand bhakti. He continues, the most marvelous passage of his life, when Krishna's life, the most difficult to understand until one has become perfectly chaste and pure. That most marvelous expansion of love, allegorized, this is allegorized, what we read, and expressed in the beautiful play of the Vrindavan, which none can comprehend, but he who has become mad with and drunk deep of the cup of love, who can conceive the throes of love of the gopis, the shepherd girls, the very ideal of love, love that wants nothing, love that even does not care for heaven, love that does not care for anything in this world or in the world to come. This is all Swami Vivekananda talking. He is not any other person who is very emotional, no? Most rational person and who hates and says, check your emotions, and he is saying all these things. The historian who records this marvelous love of the gopis is one who was born pure. Who? It is Vyasa, Sukadeva. So, this book who has written, this Bhagavad, it is uttered from the mouth of Sukadeva, who was born with Brahmajnana. No Maya. He was free from Maya at the very birth. So there is no idea of sex idea. You cannot bring it. So the historian who records this marvelous love of the gopis is one who was born pure, is eternally pure, Suka, the son of Vyasa. So long as there is selfishness in the heart, so long is love of God impossible. It is nothing but shopkeeping. So our love is all shopkeeping. You give me this, I give you this. And then as in the share, if it is less, then our anger comes, jealousy comes, hatred comes. All these are the impact. Otherwise, pure love will have nothing, all this. Oh, for one, again quotation, oh, for one kiss of those lips. And if we hear a kiss, our mind goes in mundane world. As if we love someone, kiss someone, that love, that feeling comes. But it is a person who has no ego. What that? It is total surrender to the divine. One who has been kissed by thee, his thirst for thee increases forever. All sorrows vanish, and he forgets love for everything else but for thee and thee alone. Forget first love, forget. First love gold and name and fame, and for this little trumpy world of ours. Then only then will you understand the love of the gopis, too holy to be attempted without giving up everything, too sacred to be conceived until the soul has become perfectly pure. People with idea of sex and of money and of fame bubbling up every minute in their hearts, daring to criticize or interpret the love of gopis. These are very, it is to be read again and again. What Swamiji is talking about. Swami Vivekananda is so strong, he said, don't utter the name of gopis and love of gopi unless you have 12 years of chaste, pure chaste life, of celibacy. Unbroken celibacy of 12 years. First practice that, then you utter the name gopi. Otherwise you will make a mess of worldly love. So it is so pure, it cannot be described with that purity. Again he continues in the same lecture. Here is the very ecstasy of enjoyment. Ecstasy of enjoyment. You enjoy. It is ecstatic enjoyment beyond the body. The drunkenness of love, where disciples and teachers and teachings and books and even the ideas of fear of God and heaven, all these have become one. Everything else has been thrown away. What remains is the mad transport of love, in complete obliviousness of all to all else. The lover sees nothing in the world except that Krishna. And Krishna alone, for the face of every being, has become a Krishna. For them, every face they look, it has become Krishna. He does not see anything but Krishna. For the face of every being has become Krishna, and his own face looks like Krishna. And his own soul has become tinged with the Krishna color. That indeed was the great Krishna. So, that is called the love. There are examples. Gopis are the examples. And don't think that is not possible. In human life, one can imbibe this virtue. Okay, so I thought that we will be able to read something from the other book. This book also has given a long translation and explanation. We will try to read next time. So we have finished 21, but we can read the next day this through the book of Tagishan on the book to get it more into depth. Already we have discussed. He will also say about Krishna, quote the Bhagavat, and give examples how it happened. And main thing is that this love is pure love. It cannot be understood by ordinary people who have the body identity, who brings everything to the idea of sex. That's why it is said, pure idea. It is very by meditation, and that's why the sages, the munis, reborn. That's why they become the lovers of, like they can become the gopis. That means pure in heart, purity, that love, supreme love. Okay, so we end here. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. We'll see you 7:30 in our next class
of supreme knowledge.
of supreme knowledge.